to traffic sources. Traffic sources have three main areas, and there's a fourth one too that we're going to talk about. Direct traffic means that somebody went to their browser bar, typed in www.lifewayconnect.com, and came to the site. Or they bookmarked us and came in through the bookmark. That is direct traffic. That's also traffic that I'm going to consider, for the most part, a good probably 80% for the most part, is going to be people in our church. Now, I could go in and do a report on what percentage of direct traffic is coming in from Washington State or Federal Way and some of the surrounding areas. Then I would know exactly how much of our direct traffic is just from our congregation. And it's not that our congregation isn't important, it's just they're not super important to these numbers. My numbers that I want to see, my goal, is to see new people coming in. Your goals may be completely different. So my goal is, of course, I want our congregation to visit, but I want new people to come and hear this information. Okay, so that's what direct traffic is. Referring sites is a little bit different. Referring sites means that they came from somebody else into your site. So if somebody writes about you on Twitter and they came in, if somebody writes about you on a blog and they came in, if you're on another website and they came in, those are called referring sites. And search engines mean that, ta-da, they found you on a search engine. Couldn't be more clear than that. There's also a fourth one that we're going to be talking about, and one that I would like to see become really strong for you. We don't have it listed here because we haven't started working on it yet, but other would mean tagging newsletters and banner ads and things like that. Different things that don't fit into the direct traffic referring sites or search engines and are considered other. So yes, Virginia, you can use Google Analytics on your Twitters to track traffic. You can use Google Analytics in your newsletters to track your traffic. We're not going to talk about that quite yet. We're going to get to that at the end of class. But I do want to let you know there's sometimes an other one that may show up here. All of these have to do with organic and paid. So we talked before about how you can hook this up to your AdWords account, your pay-per-click account. And so if you have that, this is your paid-for keywords and information. This is also your organic searches. Of course, based upon these reports, you can separate them out. We don't do pay-per-click yet, so this is just straight organic traffic. If we click any of these, you can see all this different information. We can go into direct traffic. And again, this is probably our congregation, and this again confirms my worry that if these are people that came directly into the site, they had to know about Lifeway Connect, probably from me telling them about it in church. Yet they're only spending 2 minutes and 11 seconds on the site. So that bothers me. It means our own congregation isn't going back and listening to the podcast, and they know about them. So this is confirming to me that we may have an issue with the podcast. Now, when you find something like this, first and foremost, you want to check your site, make sure that it's functioning right. And it is. I already did that. The second thing is, what can you do about it? They asked for it. We ran a survey. They said they wanted sermons on the site, but they're not using them. Well, there's two things. One, they could be downloading them, and downloading them is going to take a little bit longer than 2 minutes, but technically they could be downloading them. So that's for some of them. The other part is they might just not know or just not remember. So I've written down on my marketing sheet to ask if on Thursday when the newsletter goes out that we have a link in it, of course tagged with Google Analytics, that we have a link in it that says the newest podcast for last week's sermon is up. Click here to listen to it. I've got a list of things I want to do to raise this average time on site. I want people to start listening to the podcast, to the downloads. I would expect that this number would go up. If it doesn't now, I've got to go back to my marketing plan and figure out where I missed the boat, or see if they really do want those on the site. So that's direct traffic. Referring sites is super important. And most people just gloss right over this, and it completely baffles me. This tells me who is doing my work for me. Love that. So I have a couple people in church working on Facebook for me, and a fabulous guy working on Twitter. The first things when I saw that we were starting to get valid numbers coming in. The first thing I did is I went back to them and said, what do you need from me? What tools do you need? What widgets do you need? What information do you need? What answers do you need? What do you need? Because we need these to be even more. 34 people so far have come in, 34 visits have come in so far based upon those 2 social networking sites. So I want them to do even more. Now we can click on Facebook, and we can see where in Facebook they came from. So these are all the extensions. And we can see what's working for us on Facebook. Now, we don't have a regular Facebook page, but because I'm seeing Facebook is working for us as a potential marketing tool, one of the things I might want to consider is running a day session at our church on how to create a Facebook page. And of course, in it, teach them how to link back to the church in their Facebook page. Because the more we can get from Facebook, the better off it is. So this is not only just from our Facebook page, but from other people linking to us. It's valuable. I'm going to pursue that as a marketing opportunity. Twitter's doing good for us. Lifeway Connect Russia is sending us people. It's a brand new site, so hopefully it's sending us people. We know that our marketing efforts on YouTube are starting to pay off. But then we get into some things like this. In Northwest Baptist Oregon, yellowpages.com, and the calendar at the Olympian. Those aren't things I did. I can guarantee you those aren't things I did. But these are people advertising for us, and you can see, again, not a ton of people yet, but people are coming in from those sources. So what do? Well, I go to the sources, and I make sure that our information is done correctly. You want to make sure that they're using the right keywords and phrases, and see if there's any way potentially that we can use them more. What does hopeforc.org need? Do they need articles? Do they need widgets? Do they need banners? I would be more than happy to help them if they're going to send more traffic to us. With all of these companies, is there an opportunity to make the process better? What if Yellow Pages, because I haven't done anything, what if they just have basic information? What if I can go in and start an account and I can fill it in with tons of information and that 4 turns into a 40? So these are the people doing work for you for free. This is kind of an important report. Love that one. Search engines is always good. Let you know what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Pretty straightforward. We've hit the major search engines, Google, Yahoo, and MSN. We've hit them in pretty much the order I expected, so that's pretty good. Interestingly enough, MSN actually has one of our lowest bounce rates, which I found. Now, granted, there's only been 7 visits, but people who are finding us on MSN aren't leaving the site. You can see their average time on the site is a lot longer. Kind of interesting. So that's something that I would actually click on and start doing some detective work on. What does that actually mean? Well, there's 4 keywords that they use to come in. Lifeway, 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 Federal Way, Federal Way, Federal Way. That tells me that it's somebody who must know the name of our organization. Now, for the most part, this is probably somebody in our congregation. If they know the name of the church, I wish we had one of those churches that everybody knew our name, but they don't. So I'm guessing this is probably somebody from our church or somebody's. I would have to drill down and report and see how many unique people it is. But who is this, and why are they coming in? And that's something I would be curious about, making sure that you're hitting those main 3. Now, if all of a sudden an interesting search engine is showing up and driving some really great traffic to you, awesome, great for you. But what does it mean? And is it effective for you to go after that information? Okay? And all traffic sources is where all the traffic is coming from. And you'll see those same keywords showing up here. Organic means it's a search engine showing up in organic. If it's a pay-per-click, you'll see CPC over there. Direct means that they literally just typed it in. Referral, again, a referring one. So that's how those get into those 3 different areas that I showed you on the home page. All right? And one last thing I wanted to show you really quick. For keywords, keywords are really important. This is a report that you should spend a ton of time on. There's 225 keywords so far that have been used to locate us. Exporting them into a spreadsheet so I can understand them a little bit better might be a great option for me at this point. Because after we get past this page, they all go down to like one time search. Really quick, let's talk about head keywords and long tail keywords. The head of the keyword and the tail of the keyword. These would be more the head. These are quick, short. Are they driving traffic? Yeah. But something like this, 40 Days of Love, Week 2, Rick Warren, which cracks me up that we got that many people coming in, because I actually specifically set up the site to drive traffic for that. That's very much a long tail. It only produced 5 visits, so less than 10% of the first one. But I want you to think about this, is putting efforts into some of your longer tail into these other 210 words. Is there potentially more gold in those 210 words than in just these first couple that are sitting up here? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. It's something you'd want to take a look at your reports. But don't exclude automatically. Everybody always goes after the flashy words. One of the things that the church wanted to be ranked for was Christian church. Yeah, well, that's not going to happen for a long time. And it doesn't matter, because that's not what people are searching on Google for. They want a church in Federal Way. So getting ranked for Federal Way churches, love that. It means we're getting found for Federal Way churches. That's really important for me. So understand, it's just not the numbers that are going to give you the answers. You really need to take a look at these and delve a little bit deeper, and never ever take just one piece of this information just at face value. All right, for content, you can compare individual pages to each other. What you're looking for is high bounce rates, meaning people are hitting those pages and leaving quickly. It means that that information on it, with where they came from, isn't the right information. So let's say you have a blog entry with information about used cars on it, and the link it sends them to is how to fix a car engine. Then they're probably going to bounce pretty quickly, because it wasn't what they were expecting coming in from that link. Does that make sense? So here's where you can actually look at this information. And again, like I said, here's all the extra reports over here. A lot of great information. We can take a look at what our top content is. Now, why is this important? Well, for those of you who have an eBay store, this is exactly what custom pages you should have up there. Our women at Lifeway Church are very active. It doesn't surprise me that that's one of the top performing pages. If you see something that's just a slash, it means it's just your home page, just so you know. A lot of people are wanting to know what Lifeway Church is about. Well, since it's such a popular page, I'm probably going to work on that more. There's only 39 seconds spent on that page, so I'm probably going to include some videos. We also have a new section I just wrote down that's called About Lifeway, or Meet Lifeway, where you actually get to see little short videos about the people who go to that church. Well, if I'm trying to figure out if I want to go to a church, I probably want to see the people that attend it to see if I fit in. That's why the about part is so important. So I'm going to exploit that. I'm going to see what other kind of information I can put on that. Same thing's true with these pages, though. Let's go back down on the opposite part. Which ones aren't working? Which ones are getting really short searches? Or we can even do a bounce rate. Which one has super high bounce rates? Super high bounce rates. Awana Kids Club. Why is it bouncing? That's one of our popular features at that church. Very, very active kids club. Why is it bouncing? I don't know. I have to go look. Why is this one getting a ton of page views that has a high bounce rate? I don't know. I got to go take a look. Is something not working on the page? Is the page not found? I don't know. There's a lot of information here, but that's where you can start looking at your content, and you can see there's all these different reports in here. But again, with the most popular pages, I'm going to take those most popular pages and I'm going to use them other places. I'm going to do blog entries on them. I'm going to do custom pages on my eBay store. I'm probably going to write about them in my newsletter. As soon as I saw how popular now I lost it, the popular part. As soon as I saw how popular the women's page was, I recommended to the church to set up a separate women's newsletter just to communicate this information with the women, to capitalize on that. Interestingly enough, the men in our church, apparently not so good. We'll have to work on that. All right. Now, if we come down here, there's something called goals, and this is going to open into a new page as soon as we click it. Goals are a great thing to have, but they kind of only work if you have something that's a call to action on your site. So if you just have a blog, this isn't going to make any difference to you, because most of you don't have call to actions on your site. However, if you do, I wanted to show you where you set up the goals, because this is awesome. If you have an e-commerce part on your site, you're going to set up goals. If you have anything to do with money, you're going to set up goals. If you have anything where you're having somebody sign up for something and it takes them eventually to a thank you page on your site, you're going to sign up for goals, because this will keep track of how many people are going through that process. So let me show you. Just click edit. Super easy. You'd want to turn your goal on. For all practical purposes, so we don't have to get into a long conversation, let's click exact match. You're going to put the link to the final page here, meaning the final page of your goal. So when they check out of your shopping cart, they're taken to a page that says, here's your invoice. That's your final page. If you want them to sign up for something and they're taken to a page that says, thank you for your purchase, or thank you for signing up, that's your final page. Whatever your final page is, that's the goal URL, and name it whatever you want. Let them know if URL is case sensitive. Some of you guys have that, some of you don't. If you don't know, ask your web person. And then a goal value. And all value, everything has a value. If it's a newsletter sign up, maybe you just say $5. If it's a product and you know your average product completion, your average selling price for your shopping cart is $34, enter $34. Every time somebody completes a shopping cart purchase, you want it to be at $34. Or maybe you set it at $40 because you're trying to push it so that people do add-ons to your shopping cart. Okay? So you can just leave it at that, and then every time somebody hits that thank you page, that information is going to be calculated for your goals. But there's a part 2 of this, and I love part 2. There's a funnel part to it. This is super important. If you have an e-commerce section on your site or AdSense or anything like that, you've got to understand what people are doing. And this is where the funnel part will do, especially for your e-commerce. Now, somebody like Danny is going to need to get involved here, just so you know. All right, because there's some special code for the e-commerce part that you need to do. But step 1 is the URL. Step 1 would be a page of 8 different greeting cards, and they pick one. And maybe that's what you name it, picking a greeting card. Step 2 is when they pick which color they want. So they have pink or green. That's the URL you put here, and choosing pink or green. However many steps it takes to go through the process. So maybe there's a shopping cart step. And then if there's no other steps, then down at the very bottom, you're going to put your goal. Remember, your goal is your thank you page. And hopefully your goal matches this link up here. And you click Save Changes. I want to show you how cool this visualization tool is. So you guys can see the funnel. And this is what starts to happen on Google Analytics. As soon as you tell it that step 1 is here, step 2 is here, and the goal is here. Now, I don't know what language this is in, but it doesn't matter. Understanding the process. At the start of it, let's say at the first page where they were picking from 8 different greeting cards, you had 33,000 people. At that page, 25,000 of them left, and they either left completely your site or they went to other places on your site. This is important. Are they going back to get more information, or are they completely leaving your site? Having 10,000 people, 1/3 of these people leave your site and not purchase would probably concern me a little bit. What if the next step is choosing pink or green? At this point, you lose another 50% of them. Another 1,500 literally go out the exit. Now, the reason they have an entry point here is sometimes based upon your marketing, you may send them straight to the pink or green section from different links. So they do have an entry point. So let's say 3,000 people came in from that entry point. This would be 10,000. Okay, so over here it talks about what you start with, what you end up with at this step. What you start with, or what you add, what you have, what you end up with. Now, as we go through this process, 3,300 people made it to that goal page. 3,300 people made it to the thank you for your purchase page. Is that good? I don't know. It depends on what their other analytics. They would know whether this is good or bad. Is converting 9.98% of your customers good? I don't know. What's your normal conversion? If your normal conversion is 20, then no. That's really bad. If your normal conversion is 2% and now you've figured out how to fix this conversion process, now it's up to almost 10%, then I'd say you're on the right track. But this is incredibly valuable information. Too often people have a website set up and they never know where they lose customers. Did you lose your customer when you added one more step to the shopping cart page and they don't like that page and all of a sudden they're leaving in droves and you have no idea why? Did they leave you in the shopping cart? Shopping cart abandonment's huge. Did they leave you when they had to pick pink or green? Maybe they didn't like that step. Maybe that should be changed somehow. And sometimes you have to go back to the drawing board and actually sit down with a couple of your neighbors and say, can you show me how you would pick a greeting card? Show me the process. Let me watch over your shoulder. And see what's happening on the page. Why are so many people leaving? But at least now you know at what point on your website they're leaving. So the funnel process is an amazing process to help you clarify that information. And that's where what you would actually set up in your goals. Custom reporting is a great thing. We're not going to get into it today. Custom reports let you take all of this information that we just showed you and make your own reports. And it's actually a pretty cool tool, but I think you're going to have enough reports as it is to keep you busy for a while. But if you find there's absolutely not a report that exactly fits your need, you can always create your own. There's all these different metrics. Metrics go across the top. There's all these dimensions, and the dimensions go here, and then the subdimensions go here. And then you can create a report based upon that. So it's actually a pretty easy process. Again, you're probably not going to use a custom report for a while. As you get into it and find that you're missing something that your clients are looking for or that you're looking for, you can then come in here and create your own perfect report as well. Now you can also email those reports out just like you did the other ones. So that makes it really easy. Now something that Google just added that I really want to show you, if we go to keywords, and this is cool for people like me, although you can see trends a little bit quicker, but they added this new visualize tool. You can see I'm just in the keywords section. So if you click visualize, you'll start to see little balls show up. And I love this. You can change over here all sorts of different information. So maybe we make this average time on the site, and the horizontal one, maybe we make it, well, pages and visits. I think that that's good. So you can see with just a drop-down menu, we can change what those look like. Okay. Now we have some balls here, but we still don't know what they mean. Unique colors, I like that because I like separation of colors. Under size, you can choose anything you want. So if you have set up a revenue model on this, revenue is always a good thing, so you always want to track the revenue part of it. But what if we put in here, I don't know, let's say bounce rate. Okay. Now, based upon over time, average time on the site versus page visits, we can see all of these different dynamics changing having to do with the keywords. As we get closer to Easter, we start to see things change a little bit. You see there's some dynamic changing happening. That's important to me. And again, this is for people who are a little bit more visual, who can or who want to look at multiple charts all in the same thing and understand what all of these different things mean. These all mean different keywords. You can see them here. All having to do with size has to do with bounce rate, how fast people are bouncing. If they're higher up, average time on the site is more. If they're down lower, it's less time on the site. If they're over to the right, how they visited more pages. So there's a lot of information that can be found in here. Again, this is brand new. They just installed this, so you can play around with this and have fun with all of the different changing balls and things like that. All right. Deep breath. See, you guys made it to the other side. It wasn't so bad. There's a ton of things you can do with Google Analytics. I just showed you literally just scratching the surface. And as you guys get into this, if you want, we would be more than happy to do a more advanced Google Analytics or specifics into Google Analytics. But for right now, you guys need to get used to Google Analytics and start making it work for you and for what you need it to do. Now, going back to analytics, remember we talked before about how important this number was. Right here you can see. That number is going to be important as you add Google Analytics to Etsy. You're going to need that number in order to do it. Now, for those of you who have already added it to Etsy, don't even worry about this. You're good to go. All you're going to do is log in and not buy anything on Etsy. Gosh darn it. Hate that site. Go broke on that site. You know, how awesome would it be for eBay to finally use Google Analytics? Although their eBay Stores tool is pretty cool, but it'd be nice to have everything in one place. So for this, all you need to do is go into your Etsy account after you've logged in. If you're registered to sell, you're going to see all of this information over here. Under Shop Setup, you're going to click Web Analytics. It's going to say blah, 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 and setting things up, and then you're going to enter that tracking number here and click Save Changes. Okay? But if you sell on multiple sites, there is a certain way that you need to set Etsy up. So I do want to make sure that you set Etsy up correctly. For those of you who already set Etsy up, you may want to just double check your steps and make sure it's tracking it right. So let's go back to analytics really quick. I just want to make sure. I just don't want anybody to not get this information. All right. What you're going to do in your profile, if you're an Etsy person, again, this right here is going to be different than a website. This is actually going to be specific to Etsy itself. You're actually going to follow their instructions, like they said right here. When asked for the website name, enter Etsy's URL. When asked for your account name, enter your Etsy shop website address. So you're going to follow those instructions. But there's another piece of the puzzle that a lot of people don't know you need to do. When your Etsy profile is in here, click Edit, and then click Edit. Remember how we went into the profile before? Okay. On this one, you're going to select Do Track Site Search. Here you're going to enter GA underscore search underscore query. GA underscore search underscore query. You're going to click Yes to strip query parameters. Do you use categories for site search? You're going to click Yes. This is going to be the exact same thing except for different at the end. So GA underscore search underscore type. Select Yes to strip category parameters out and hit Save Changes. All right, so again, the same process, the same way. You're just going to come into Google Analytics and add another website. Add it according to Etsy's instructions. But you have to go back into your profile and change this information, otherwise it will never track your Etsy account. Switch to Do Track Site Search. Add this into the query. Again, this is only for Etsy people. Click Yes, strip query parameters out. You guys don't need to know what this information means. This just means it works. Do you use categories for site search? Click Yes and put this in there, GA underscore search underscore type, and strip category parameters out and save changes. Okay, now you're set to go on Etsy. So for some of you who aren't seeing any reporting coming out of Etsy, that may be the part of the problem. Okay, for Etsy, just understand you're not going to be able to see everything that we've seen today. You are going to get to see the visitors, traffic sources, which part of your site they're viewing, what kind of content are they viewing. But as far as setting up goals, you're not going to be able to do that. The revenue accounts, you're not going to be able to do that. But still, considering that these are pretty powerful reports, there's still a lot of information that you're going to have access to. So there you go. All right, so that's for Etsy. Really quick, remember how I talked to you before about using Google Analytics on your newsletters, on Twitter, and other outside sources? This is where you're going to go to, and of course we'll have the link just right to the right of you listening to this class. Google Analytics URL Builder. You're simply going to type in the URL of your address, campaign source. So for this one, maybe it's Twitter. Campaign medium. It's always helpful to spell it right. Twitter. And whatever link you're talking about. Maybe you're sending people right back to the church site on Twitter. Oops. Twitter, medium is a tweet. And a campaign name is, maybe we're talking about kids camps. I'm just going to put camp. And then you simply click Generate URL. You don't need to understand any of this. You just have to copy and paste it and use that as your tiny URL in Twitter. So if you ever link in Twitter to your website or to wherever you want, and you want to make sure that Google Analytics has that tracking information, just come into this site, make sure you fill out these three, and click Generate URL, copy and paste that URL in. Same thing is true for your newsletters. Now, if you're with Aweber or MailChimp or Vertical Response, they do this automatically for you. They're already tied and connected to Google Analytics. But if you use some of the other tools and you want to see what kind of traffic is being generated from your newsletter, then you can use this same tool to generate links for your newsletter. This allows Google to add that little tracking information in, and it lets you know what people are doing with that newsletter links instead of you just blindly sending out a newsletter. Okay? I love the fact that we've got that with Twitter. I know there's a lot of tools to track, but it's nice to have it all in one place with Google Analytics. All right. Really quick, I just want to mention that we have Webmaster Tools, so there's additional tools you can use besides just tagging newsletters. You can sign up for Webmaster Tools. As long as you're already signed in, you can just simply click Get Started Now. There's a ton of information that Google's going to provide for you for free. I love that they do all this for free. You're going to click Get Started Now. And the very first thing that you're going to need to do is to add a site. So you're going to want to come up here and click Add a Site. So we could say LifewayConnectRussia.com. And the next thing it's going to do is it's the same type of thing. We're going to need a piece of code to go someplace again. This allows the site to verify information. So I need to verify your site. It says not verified yet. Choose how you want to do it. So you can either add a meta tag or upload an HTML file. Either of them are things that I have Danny do. So hopefully she'll pipe in and let you guys know which one she wants you to do. But let's say you add a meta tag. You'd copy and paste this and either do it yourself or send that over to Danny and she'll put it in the right place and click verify. What happens is this information, or if you click upload HTML, this information gets put in the right location. Google can see it. We'll put C. Andrew says it's very easy. I agree. And Google will see it, and then it will verify that your site. Basically, this just gives access to Google. Again, not to get any personal information, but just to help you be a better person. And here's the cool thing, that when I was doing an overview, let's go back to Lifeway Connect. When I was doing an overview, you can see right here, everything kind of checks out except we have two situations. Now, I would have never known about these situations if I didn't sign up with Google Webmaster Tools. These are pretty important. This first one is an HTTP error. I can go and take a look at it, find out more information about what it means. Looks like there's a problem with the PowerPress plugin, blah, 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 blah. Now I can check and see what that error is. This one is kind of important. This means that it didn't find 9 of my pages. If I click the details, this is pretty important. It means that 3 pages link to this, and this page doesn't show up. Well, now we possibly have a problem. What I'm thinking is most of these pages are built upon our calendar, and once the date's gone, they're technically gone. And so I'm hoping that that's what has happened. But if not, we have a situation on our hands. So now I can easily go in and check these reports, fix any errors, fix anything I need to do, and now I can hopefully come back and see that this is all clear. This is so nice because what happens is I don't have time to go in and look at the whole site. Right now that site has 80 different pages on it. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to keep going back and checking and make sure everything's okay. This will do it for you automatically. So this makes it really nice. And then all of this is just drilled down information, settings, diagnostic, which is very similar to what we just looked at. Statistics is very important. Top search queries, information about what Google sees, subscriber stats if you're going to look at those. Links is also really important. Pages with external links, you can see who is linking to you. Why is this so important? Well, again, we're back to the free salesperson, right? Well, one of the top places that is linking back to us, again, is Yellow Pages. Gosh, that's on my marketing to-do list. Go and look at Yellow Pages, make sure that they've got our information right, see if there's anything else I can do with them. I see that we have an old file here. This is from our old website. Is that something that I probably want to get Google to take off? Probably so. Phil Stubblefield, I didn't know this, but he has written about us. He's one of the members of our church, and he has a website, and he's written about us. In line behind me is actually sending a lot of traffic to Lifeway Connect. We're also getting picked up really well on Vimeo and YouTube. Well, this is a ton of information I didn't have before. I need to go find out what glue is on Yahoo because we're getting picked up really well for the Beth Moore studies that we've done. There's all this valuable information now that I never would have known in a million years if I didn't have these tools installed. So you can go and play around with all of these Google Webmaster Tools. Now, really quick, let me go back into Google Analytics and sign out. Like I said, Cindy has generously offered up her site. And actually what I'm thinking about is, Cindy, how about this? How about we finish this section? We'll take a quick break because you guys have been brave and have endured a lot of information for the last hour and a half. Let's finish up this section really quick. And then during Q&A, I would love to come back and show you Cindy's Google Analytics if you guys are okay with that. Hopefully Cindy's okay with that. All right. All right, you guys. How about we just all breathe? I can even hear you, I swear. All right. This is a super, super important class. I can't even tell you how many phone calls I sent to, and emails I sent to Cindy and Danny bugging them because I just wanted this class so perfect for you guys, exactly what you needed to have for your business. This is very valuable information. Are you going to understand it today? No, not all of it. Are you going to understand it 6 months from now? No, but the cool thing is you're going to understand a little bit more about it. Very important. Okay, so I want you guys to be really proud of yourself. This is a hard class. Going through what you just did, and considering I don't have a million questions, I only have 50 or so, I'm really proud of you guys. I know you're going to take the pieces and go back to it. So we went over Google Analytics, how to set it up for websites, how to set it up for blogs. So some of you are ready to move forward with this now. Some of you, this needs to just go into your business plan. We showed you how to understand Google Analytics for the most part. Now the playing comes in. How do the pieces work for your business? We showed you some additional features you can use, how you can set up your own reports, how you can email them to yourselves. We also showed you how you can tag outside websites. Not outside websites, but sites like when you're twittering or when you're sending out newsletters. Now you have that additional option. We showed you how to install Google Analytics for Etsy. Just make sure your profile is edited. I think that's where Etsy sellers miss the boat, is they forget to edit their profile. And we showed you some other cool Webmaster Tools. Again, all free. Absolutely amazes me. But that little piece of information that I've got some sites that aren't matching up will save me so much time from having to do it myself, or potentially, and probably more important, is watching people leave the site because they're not finding what they need. What if our bounce rate is starting to happen because those sites are broken? Okay? A lot learned today. I'm really, really proud of you guys. So here's your success steps. If you're ready, I want you to add Google Analytics to your site. And again, you guys know that Danny's available for hire to help you with that if you need it. She helped me. And here's your success steps. I want you to spend 10 minutes a day this week playing with various Google Analytics reports. Make sure you email one of them to yourselves just so you can kind of see what that looks like. This is not hard. You're just playing. You can't mess anything up. But I want you to set a timer and only play for 10 minutes because you can truly get lost and other things won't get done. If your site has any sort of e-commerce or measurable goals, I want you to set up one of those goals with the funnels. Just practice with it. Again, you're the only one seeing this information, so if you set it up wrong, no big deal. We just go back to square one and set it up again. I want you to sign up for Webmaster Tools. It's free. Make sure that you verify the code. And you can also add a sitemap. It shows you how to do that, and that just helps with your SEO. And then, how this drill goes, by Sunday, we want you to send to us the 3 changes you're going to make based upon reports that you studied this week. Now, for those of you who are thinking you're getting off scot-free because you're not at this step yet, not so fast there, young lady. Almost everybody on this call has an eBay store. You have very similar reports in your eBay store. So if you're not ready to add Google Analytics and start looking at that information, at the very least, I want you to go to your eBay store reports, and I want you to look at that report and look at some of the same information we went over today. All analytics reports have the same basic information. Who are the visitors? What are they doing on your site? And where are they coming from? I want you guys to send in the 3 changes you're going to make to your business, the first 3 changes, based upon the reports you're studying. And it can be Google Analytics, it can be one of the analytics that Danny showed you, and it can be your eBay store. I just want to see you look at the reports and do something about them. Okay, success steps. So this week it's a lot of fun, a lot of playing, but I also want you to make changes based upon checking up. All right, coming up next week, we have the phenomenal Danny going to be teaching about WordPress. It's not just for blogs anymore. I use WordPress as a content management system. Wait, what is a content management system and why do I need one? I love this class because it's something I truly believe in, of how do you have a presence outside of eBay, what does that look like, and what are the tools you need? And WordPress is one of the most powerful and easy to use ones. It has so much SEO built into it, it's not even funny, so I'm delighted that Danny's going to be doing this class. Now, up until now, we've told you May 12th is a secret, May 19th is a secret class in early June. By show of hands, how many of you guys would like to know some of these secret classes? Oh, there goes the hands. I don't have 100% yet. A few more hands went up. All right. For May 12th, we have a fabulous class coming up. I'm delighted to be teaching with Cindy, who is brilliant about teaching about Bonanza. A lot of you guys have been having questions. Is this a site that's right for me? Do I even need to think about putting on my business plan, or should I just be going full bore and using Bonanza? She's going to be bringing her Bonanza expertise to the table on May 12th, and the other half I'm going to be teaching you about Etsy. So if either of those have been kind of looming on your business plan, May 12th is your bonus class for that. I'm real excited to be offering that. The reason we didn't include that at the beginning is because they're technically not separate sites. These are in addition, these are niche sites. These would be other opportunities for you. But because of the questions that came in and where some of you guys are at, I think Bonanza and Etsy are opportunities that you need to take advantage of. So we decided to do a co-class about that. So I'm excited. Does anybody want to see what's under the May 19th one? Oh, one person? Some of you guys put your hands down so fast I can't even see them. On May 19th, we're going to do business plan reviews. So for those of you who've been smart, this wouldn't be me on this call. If you're smart, you've been doing your business plan all along and adding little things to it, May 19th will be easy for you to turn in your homework. Obviously, by that Sunday, we're going to need your business plans turned in as completed as fully as possible. If you're like me, I'll probably be doing it the night before. I'm so bad about procrastinating, but whatever case you're in, I do want to give you a heads up that Cindy, Danny, and I are going to be reviewing your business plans and telling you, yes, you're on the right direction with this, or, gosh, we really want you to kind of think about these things, and, whoa, Nellie, you're totally off on the wrong track on that one. I doubt there's very few whoa Nellies, but just like today when we reviewed some of the success steps, there were certain things that I wanted you guys to pay attention to. We're going to be doing that same thing on the 19th. So this is why it's important. Every day put a few more minutes into your business plan, so by the time it comes around to turning that in, when would that be? Like the 17th, May 17th, I think. Turning that in so we can review your business plans. I'm real excited about that. I wish somebody along the way had a chance to review my business plan and sent me on the right path. Would have been awesome. You guys don't want to know what the June bonus is, do you? No? All right, Cindy, sorry. They don't want to know what the June bonus is. They're raising their hands. All right. Oh, and the questions are coming in too. The June bonus is going to be real exciting. The June bonus is going to be 5 winners from this group who Cindy, Danny, and I are going to review your business. Now, we will give you a submit date to turn these in, so don't worry yet. This is incredibly valuable to have 3 people take a look at where your business is at and where you're going and how you're going to get there, and to vocalize that information to you. I don't even want to, or I shouldn't even have to tell you how much that costs in the real world, miniature fortune. So we're going to pick 5 of you to review during this class, and this is going to be huge. Now, when we say 5 best practices winners, we don't mean the people who have the most work done. We just mean the people that are heading down the right path, who have their business plan not perfect, but pointed in the right direction. Google Analytics, not perfect, but pointed in the right direction. Website might not be done, but pointed in the right direction. We simply want you headed in the right direction, and then we want to, as winners, we want to showcase your businesses as why we picked you. I think seeing other people who are doing things right helps people other people visualize that for themselves. So Cindy, Danny, and I, again, with information to be announced at a later date, are going to pick 5 winners, and you guys are going to be showcased on the site, and we're going to walk through best practices of why we chose them, why they're headed on the right path, the features that we like for that business plan, and why we like them. There's not another person out there, another website out there that's doing anything close to this. So definitely send huge thanks to Cindy and Danny for being so willing to share their time to do something like this. I'm super excited for the June bonus. So there you go. Now you guys know what your bonus is, what you're in for. All right. I don't want to forget one of the most fabulous things is ghostleg.com/instant site. For some of you, you've already started on this. For some of you, you still need to contact Danny. Cindy, you're suddenly going to be doing sites. She's putting up these great sites having to do with outside business. If you're ready for that in your business plan, don't forget to contact her at ghostleg.com/instant site. All right, really quick bathroom break, a couple drinks of water, and we'll be back with you in just a couple minutes to get all of these questions answered for you.